rightfully so, by Jamie's barrister, Adam King. Adam, thank you very much for joining us tonight. This is an absolutely astonishing case. Can you believe that it ever actually even went to court?
Well, I can believe it. I've just done the trial, but I'm surprised that they decided to charge it. We asked them to drop it. They didn't. I think ultimately that was a mistake.
And he was actually potentially facing a bit of time in prison, wasn't he? Do you think this was just an egregious kind of trampling on someone's right to freedom of speech?
Yes, I do. I think it was an egregious trampling on his rights to free speech. I should say we got, not lucky, but we were fortunate in that we had a fair judge, a very fair judge, and a fair prosecutor and obviously a fair jury. That doesn't always happen, right? And I think the trouble with charging someone like Jamie Michael for saying the things that he said is that it could go horribly wrong.
Do you think that there are people in prison now for certainly speech-related offences after the Southport massacre who, had they pleaded not guilty, could well have avoided prison?
Undoubtedly, yes.
Do you think they were pressurised into pleading guilty in some senses?
I know of one or two, at least, decisions to remand a defendant in custody which would not have been taken. That is to say, they would not have been remanded in custody in normal circumstances. And I think that is likely to have weighed very heavily on those defendants when it came to deciding whether or not to plead guilty, because when you've been taken from your sofa to a police cell, to a court cell, to a prison cell, all in the space of 48 hours for something that you wouldn't have thought was an offence, the feeling that the system is against you and you're not going to win no matter what is likely to be overwhelming. And so you're more likely to take the discount for pleading guilty and take it on the chin rather than try and fight it.
Do you think that Keir Starmer has some responsibility for that and some of the rhetoric that he was putting out there, coupled with maybe some of the tweets that I showed earlier from the Home Office? Do you think that he maybe set the tone there for that?
I think he probably had a role in setting the tone, yeah. I mean, to be fair to him, as Prime Minister, he's going to have to take a pretty hard line when there's actual rioting taking place. But there are many others involved in the system beneath him who perhaps could have done more to maintain a level of proportionality.
Look, I should really finish by asking how Jamie is, really. I mean, he's been through the ringer, to say the least, got the result he was after, but clearly it must have had a massive impact on his life. How is it? He
seemed fine to me. He seemed very well. He's a very nice and peaceful man. He was peaceful before, during and after the trial. And I expect he's just looking forward to getting on with his life in the normal way at this point.
All right, well, Anna, can I just say a massive thank you for coming into the studio this evening?